Hi, guys, and welcome to the Steelman Podcast. Today, we're going to be making predictions about every sports, everything that's coming back. So let's get right into it.
Let's go. How about them Steelers? Look at this. Got the juju. Look at this. Undefeated. We're going undefeated. It's gonna.
It was just one game.
Okay. Wow.
It was versus Giants of all teams.
I don't know.
Giants.
I got
that have a new
Super Bowl
coach, a new
hopes
offensive
right now.
line,
Got that nice little
new quarterback
juju.
actually too. Throw the new
Spin
quarterback
on.
in there.
Look at this. Fully stitched and everything. Okay, let's just get.
And he's hitting the
whatever.
camera. Okay. So today, guys, I think we're going to be starting off with a little bit of predicting the NFL games. So I think it's the next week, I believe, where we're going into the second week.
2. You want me to start screen sharing now? I
Yes,
can do
please.
that.
Well, we'll get them up on the thing so we can go through one by one.
Okay.
We got the Bengals and the Browns. I didn't see the Bengals game, but I heard Joe Burrow looked really good, and then Browns just looked like pure crap versus Ravens, from what I saw.
Well, yeah. Baker Mayfield decided that he didn't want to be a QB anymore. Odell Beckham was playing hot potato with the football. Pretty much, that's how it is. It's just.
What do you say about Bengals? Did you see any of that game? Because I saw highlights. It looked like Joe Burrow was doing kind of.
He was doing pretty good. I mean, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be. I think it'll be close.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it'll be a runaway. My prediction. I'm gonna go Browns, just like by a field goal, but don't count Bengals out.
Yeah.
There's a good chance that they could get an upset here. I think that's a good possibility that could happen.
I would agree with you on Browns there, but I do have to say, if it comes down to a field goal, let's hope like none of the kickers do what they did in this first week, where they a lot of them missed.
Oh my gosh, Steven Gostkowski or something.
Yeah, I forget.
He missed like 3. It's the curse.
Yeah.
It's the Bill Belichick curse. He left the Patriots. Brady left the Patriots. It's just all coming down for them.
Yeah. Did you hear about the Titans game where the kicker missed?
Yeah, that's Steven Gostkowski.
Yeah.
That's him. That's who I was talking about.
Yeah. When it actually counted,
and then
he actually did it. But I'm agreeing with you on Browns there. Titans and Jaguars. You'd see. The funny thing is I was hearing stuff like that the Jaguars are actually trying to lose, and they actually ended up winning versus
Yes,
Colts, I believe.
They're getting rid of everyone. So that just shows you how bad the Colts are. Okay, but Gardner Minshew, it's not gonna be close. It's not gonna be close. I have him by at least. I have him by at least 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Unless Minshew Mania comes up big, I don't know.
I'm going with Titans on that one just because I don't see if Jaguars plays Colts of all teams to start out with, and they could surprise us and win versus Titans, but I don't see that happening.
I'm looking through this list here, and it looks like.
Oh,
I don't know if we have any controversy. Yeah. We might. I don't know.
Buccaneers and Panthers. That is.
Although I do hate Tom Brady, I'm gonna have to go with the Buccaneers. They're not losing to the Panthers.
Well, I do have to say they did not look really any decent.
They were playing the Saints, so we'll give them that. We got to give them that. They were playing the Saints.
I know, but they just did not look good whatsoever, except for maybe the Brady's drive down for the touchdown, fall in for the first few points of the game, and then that was about it. I mean, there was plays here and there for the Buccaneers, but it didn't look as good as what you thought they would be with Gronkowski came out of retirement, so he's not going to be as good as he was, but you would think he still has at least the athleticism because he just had the talent when he was with the Patriots, or it could just be that they're not doing too much. I don't know.
Okay. So who do you have? You have the Buccaneers or Panthers?
I'm going to go Buccaneers just because I just think they'll have it just by a little bit. It'll be another. I mean, it's not a controversy. It'll be like another close one, but I think Buccaneers will take it.
Getting ready for that next pick. You all know who I'm picking.
I think Steelers with this next one because just they're playing Broncos. I have to say this. They actually have an easy start to the season compared to other years. Like last year, they started right on Patriots with Tom Brady and all and they did not have a good start. And now Ben's back, and I mean, if he can get in that groove earlier in the game, then Steelers just blow him out of the water.
Yes.
Because what happened with the Giants is that he wasn't in the groove for like the first half or like
for the first bit, and then
like the 2-minute warning in that first half, and he was off.
Yep. This is the only one I'm gonna make an actual score prediction for, and I'm gonna go 55-3.
I'm joking. I might give Broncos maybe a touchdown there, but it all depends on how they play. I'm not sure.
The defense stays the defense. It's not going to be pretty.
We got T.J. Watt. They got T.J. Watt, Dupree. You got and just that combination with on the thing. I think Dupree got a touch to it the one time by thing, and what the Giants quarterback should have did was just throw it away. But he went for the touchdown throw. Dupree touches it, and an interception on that one play. I can't remember when it was.
Cam Hayward.
It was just.
It looks so weird, but
I know. But still, at least they got it. So, but that defensive line on Steelers is gonna probably give Broncos a offensive line run for their money.
We haven't had We picked the same one all so far.
I know, yeah.
Okay. Speed round. These two speed rounds. LA 49ers. That's how I'm going. That's what I'm going. LA actually look pretty good.
I would say 49ers if the quarterback can get his work together again. If he can get it together, they'll have it in the bag. That's
their defense is their main strength too. Eagles did not look good whatsoever.
Yeah, versus Washington. Washington can't. They went up.
The football team.
Washington football team, and then Washington comes back and blows them out of the water. Like it was just ridiculous. Oh, yep. The next one's Bills. That's obviously Bills.
Bills.
I think it's gonna be another blowout. I think it's gonna be another.
Really?
Blowout. I mean, not as bad as what they did to the Jets. It'll be a little closer than that, but I still think it'll be by at least 2 touchdowns. At least. Vikings and Colts. I'm leaning towards Vikings more.
That's what I was going to do.
Because I know Vikings played Packers right away, so.
Yep.
And Colts playing Jaguars doesn't put them in the same boat as Vikings. So I'm saying Vikings are gonna pull it out.
Ooh, we have Monday night here too. It should be pretty good.
Okay.
And which one are we on here? This one. Okay,
Lions
I'm on Vikings.
Ooh.
Oh, Lions and Packers. I'm going Packers.
You have to go Packers because the
Aaron
Lions should have
played.
kept that lead. The Lions should have had that lead and stuck with it. But they just let it go again. Like what Eagles did. Except a little less. And I was just shaking my head at that too.
So still no controversy. Okay. Yeah. Falcons and Cowboys. Who are you going with here?
Falcons and Cowboys. Ooh. I want to say Cowboys, but I don't know who Falcons played.
The Falcons. We can check this out real quick. They played. Let's go back to week 1.
Sorry, I was just I can't remember who they played.
They played the Seahawks.
Ooh. Oh. Because I know I watched a little bit of the Cowboys LA game.
Yes.
And that was a good game to watch actually. That was enjoyable. But This is a.
Okay, I'll tell you who I'm going for. I'm gonna go for the underdog Falcons. They're gonna surprise the Cowboys. The Cowboys are too hyped up. They're not good. That's just my
I'm
perspective
kind of on
on
the
it.
fence with this one because this could go either way.
You've got to be kidding me right now. It's definitely the Falcons. Like,
I mean, yeah.
we got to get some debate going in here.
I know.
Okay.
I think it's I'm gonna have to go with Cowboys just because, just to get a little.
Okay. So you're telling me that Ezekiel Elliott and Dak Prescott doesn't care. He wants his money, you know. He doesn't care. Ezekiel Elliott and Falcons got Todd Gurley, new running back. They have the wide receiver group. They have defense. They have Cowboys are okay, but not. I think the Falcons are going to surprise them.
See,
just
I
my
can go in the
opinion.
opposite way because even though Cowboys really don't have everything, and a lot of people think they're overhyped, I also think that's where they're gonna surprise everybody. Is that they're gonna be overhyped? They're gonna come in and probably win by a little bit. I'm not saying it's gonna be a blowout, but I think it's gonna be close. Come down. I don't think it's gonna come down to the wire. I think it's gonna be by a touchdown, but that's
Yeah.
what I'm thinking.
I think that it's not going to come down to like a field goal to win it. You know.
No, not a field goal.
It's probably going to be 2-possession game. Cowboys might make it a 1-possession game, but by that time it'll probably be too late. So
The next one we just Bears. That's a quick one, and we're out of there.
this one,
Ooh.
I know football team showed up. I'm going Cardinals.
I have to go football team on this one.
What?
I have to go a little bit on the football team because it's not that they didn't do well at the start. I think if they get a lot of teams need to get their act together right away. If they could get their act together, like Bears if they could have got their act together first, Washington football team, Washington could have blew out Eagles. Cardinals was just on. They were just on versus 49ers. And plus they didn't really have a challenge with keeping it because the 49ers quarterback was not throwing on. He was not on that day. So that's why I'm going football team. But
I'm going Cardinals,
it's another
but
thing like Cowboys.
I would just like to point out right now, they are at the top of their division.
Yeah, because they're with Cowboys, Giants,
Eagles, and Giants. They all lost. Who'd have thought you'd say that the football teams at the top of their division, they could surprise people.
See,
I'm
thinking they're going to surprise people this year.
The new coach, yeah.
I think what's going to happen is that
people expect them to get like top 3 pick or something.
Since like they got a rename face and everything, I think everybody's kind of expecting them to be in the transition year, kind of like a kind of rebuild year. But I think what's going to happen is since they think that, they're going to surprise a few teams along the way, which
they're gonna
allow
have
them
teams
in.
playing down to them. I think, like pretty much with the Eagles. I mean, they have no help on them.
It's going to be another good game, I think.
I think that Washington will give them a fight, but in the end, Cardinals, I think, are going to pull it out. Okay, here we go. Another speed round. These next 3, really quick. Name your 3 winners. Go.
Chiefs. I hate to say it, but Ravens, and I think Seahawks.
Oh my gosh, we have the exact same because the Texans are just
no,
they are not. No.
I mean,
the Patriots might put up a fight, Cam Newton, but in the end, Seahawks have
they lost a lot of their like offensive power. So I think it's just going to come down to just if Seahawks can get something going with Russell Wilson, I believe, if he's there. So,
and then the Chargers, I know they have a 1-0, but they're not going to beat Pat Mahomes.
Yeah.
They're also kind of in that transition type year.
And
they lost Derwin James.
Yeah.
Their stronger free safety. He's good. That's a big part of their defense right there. They lost, so.
And I just when you were watching the Texans versus Kansas City game, you're like, okay, right at the start they looked really, really good off the bat, and then they petered off. They just kind of petered off. and just left.
David Johnson, the part they got back with the second round pick for Hopkins, he was actually doing pretty good. I somehow had him in my fantasy team, one of the 6 I have. He got some points for me.
I just think Lamar Jackson's gonna run it all over them.
Yep.
Lamar Jackson's gonna do that.
Now this
I
Sunday
think
night football
I
game.
think Patriots and Seahawks might be a close one, but it'll all come down to pretty much if Cam Newton can perform, and if everybody performs on Patriots, they probably have a chance. But it's going to come down to pretty much Seahawks. If Seahawks defense can just stop them, if they can stop them, I think Patriots are done.
Well, don't count the Patriots defense out either.
I won't.
They have some people opting out, but they still do have the defensive player of the year, Stephon Gilmore, on their team.
I'm also saying that it'll
could have been TJ Watt, but
I have to say, like, if like in usual years, what people usually did versus Patriots was just run on them, and I think that's what if you have Russell Wilson, maybe a little bit he get into the running game, maybe a little rushing, and then start throwing some passes and catch him off guard that way. I think it'll be towards Seahawks. And the last game, I think Saints. Saints. Just because the performance they put up versus Buccaneers, and they look good.
Now we've seen the first week. We didn't do predictions last week, but based off what you saw in that first week, give me you don't have to give me divisions. You can give me Super Bowl predictions, or two teams who you think's in the Super Bowl based off first week what we saw.
Well, let's go back to the first week so I can see some of the scores, because I watched a couple. And,
Now, I knew what I'm going with.
I have to, from what I'm seeing this first week with the scores and stuff, I have to say it's going to be probably Chiefs. I'll have to say, and you can't really tell. I think Chiefs. I think Ravens will be in the running for it. A little bit of the Steelers this year, because they actually have a quarterback this time, so they're not having so many.
Titans are going to win their division, so that might be interesting. Maybe have another story.
Might see a little Titan show up. I see. My thing is I know I'm going by division here, but it's the way I'm going to do it. But I think Bills will give Patriots a run for their money this year.
Bills are winning the division. That's given.
I'm saying they're giving a run for their money.
I think they're gonna get the division
because they look like a really good team.
Unless Belichick has some cheat codes up his sleeves or whatever.
And then on the other side, I have to say Seahawks. I would say, and then the Saints. I'll put them in the. Okay. I'm putting Seahawks in the running. I'm not saying that they're gonna go all the way. I'm just thinking they'll be a good contester. I think 49ers. It's kind of like that year that they had the great year last year, and then they're just gonna fall off again.
Yep.
And then I have Saints, Seahawks, and then the third team I'm thinking will go is probably oh dang it, what's their name? I hate when I forget names. I think it's either LA Rams or Green Bay. Might do it. I don't see Vikings making an appearance. I shouldn't say that, but it's just the way it's kind of set.
All right. So I'm going to give you my quick division winners and then my Super Bowl predictions. Seahawks, boom. Saints.
Washington football team.
Okay. This is probably the weakest division in football.
Yeah. But Washington football team or Cowboys.
I'm actually going Cowboys. I'm going Cowboys and Green Bay for this one. I think Vikings will get close. It depends on how the next. Yeah. It depends on how the next game between the next two.
Well, I mean, Chicago Bears could get their act together again and actually pull out a good season, but I don't think they're gonna win it. I think they're
gonna go
second in that
Bills, Titans, Chiefs. I hate to say it, but I'm gonna go Ravens. No. We're not counting them out. Steelers.
I think it's gonna be another tough
Those are gonna be so good games. Thanksgiving night. That is
the game of the Steelers year. Versus Ravens this year is gonna be big.
game of the year. Yes.
Because you got Ben with the throwing arm and
Yes.
really Jackson with the pace and the speed.
And don't forget, we had Mason Rudolph getting like knocked out last year, Duck Hodges, and they almost they went to overtime with them.
Yeah.
You know, so
I still think I think Steelers have a really good chance this year because, I mean, with Ben back and everything, with an actual quarterback that like a veteran quarterback sitting in there, just the same as Saints has Breeze in there as a veteran. So it's, and I think Breeze was out for like the first he was out for a little bit there.
6 games, I think 4 to 6, something like that. Okay, so let me give you my predictions on who's gonna. I gave you my division, but do I think the Cowboys are gonna die? I'm not counting wild card teams.
Yeah,
we're just gonna go division winners. Do I think the Cowboys? Nope. I think it'll be the Packers and the Seahawks battling it out to face the #1 seeded New Orleans Saints.
I agree with you on that.
I think Saints will go to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I mean Rams.
I don't necessarily know if it's their year to win it, but I think they'll.
I also have to say Rams could surprise us there, but they're the kind of team that will kind of sit in there and maybe surprise us like Titans last year. Maybe Titans will do the same.
Remember, there are actually 7 wild card teams instead of 6 this year, so
different look at it this year.
No, wait, I said Steelers, right? Okay, Baltimore, they're going to get
they're definitely going to get a wild card. How I see it,
they may end up winning one. They're going to choke again.
I have to say that they're going to choke in playoffs. They're always going to choke in playoffs because
I think
Jackson chokes. Not that he's not a good quarterback, but he's a great quarterback in season. Off season, not so much. They just like last year's representation of Titans just shut him down. It did not look like he was on or anything but I could be wrong this year and he could all surprise us. It would be surprising, but.
So I don't think the Titans are going to do it. I think it'll be the Bills versus the Steelers to face the #1 seed. If they're going to get #1 seed. Yeah. If they don't, that'd be a serious shocker. They're definitely 1 or 2.
Yeah.
But I think the Steelers will edge the Bills out. And then they'll face the Chiefs, and that will be a very close game. I know some people are like, the Chiefs are just going to run away. You know, they think they're going to.
I think it'll actually be pretty close this year.
I think it will.
I think it'll actually.
It'll be 1 score, a touchdown or field goal. And
I mean, if Chiefs get into it, I think if Saints get into it, it's going to be just a battle of, like, the biggest teams right now. That, like, already from the start. But
listen.
We could be wrong. And it could totally change.
I'm going to go high on my team. I'm going to say with the veteran leadership that the Steelers have, their defense against Pat, I think they can stall him. Yeah. And I think Ben can just – and if he gets into a groove, I think it'll be Steelers and Saints. I'm not going to give my winner because obviously we don't know if that's going to happen.
And you got all of Juju at the end of the game. I think it was Juju who came up and said, "That's my quarterback."
That one celebration he had.
Well, right at the. He's like, "Hey, dude, look at the camera. Look at the." That was it. Just you gotta love them. You gotta love them. So now that we're done with American football,
we've been doing that for a long time. I mean,
now that we're done with American football, I think it's time to go on to the English football.
All right, bye.
And he's peacing out, boys.
Just kidding. I would never leave halfway through.
I mean, and now Adam's going to sleep.
No, okay. I'm up. I'm ready.
Okay, so I know you didn't see any of the highlights, or you might have seen any.
Your head's not there.
Yay! Disappear! Woo!
It's just your neck. So might want to move the microphone closer.
Move the microphone closer.
Yep. Okay, that's good again. Going through a little technical stuff.
Okay, let's get to season here. I know you haven't seen any of the games, and I know we were predicting that. So this year, I think it's gonna be a battle for the top spot in Premier League, and then in the bottom, it's kind of set between like 4 teams. But without seeing anything, who's your top 4 to win it? If you got if you
You
got,
want me to rank them like 1 through 4?
I mean, no, we're just gonna do it in like sections. I'll give you like top of the table, middle of the table, relegation battle, and then
All right.
we'll do
I'm just gonna
relegation.
predict. Okay, I'm gonna make a bold move here. Man City, number 1.
Yeah.
Liverpool 2. 3 and 4, they're gonna be tricky. Who's normally at the top? Like, I don't even know that.
Mm-hmm. Well, this year I think it's actually going to be people are going to be surprised, and I think, and I know like more towards Liverpool, but I think the top 3 will pretty much consist of Liverpool, Man City, and Chelsea. Chelsea just like
Chelsea.
they did a career mode save or something, like they were like in FIFA and go, okay, who's the best player? And they just started taking players and selling players. I mean, they did like the most out of like a lot of the teams in the Premier League for trade.
I don't know how good Man U is.
I think they're going to be like 4th. I mean,
okay.
I think they'll contest for like 3rd place, but I think they're going to be sitting at 4th because I think they need the like utmost, like they need to like really get balanced in, because they're kind of more like, I think they're more attack heavy than they are defensive heavy, but that's just my thought. If they could get some defensive moves and stuff, they have De Gea, which is pretty good goalkeeper, but I'd say after that, this is where it gets confusing.
Who do you think the 3 that will move down, maybe 3 that move up to the Premier League?
Well, the 3 that I think is, you see, this is where it gets really bad, because I can get 2 of them. 2 of them is going to be West Brom and Fulham. They both came up, but they didn't do enough to transfers this transfer season, and I can't really say anything until October 5th, because that's when the transfer season ends. But like, those are the 2 teams that just don't look like they're going to be good enough to compete with like your Wolves, Brighton, Tottenham, Southampton's kind of sitting on the edge. I'll actually give them relegation battle. Burnley, Aston Villa's kind of sitting in relegation battle too, I have to say. So I'm saying for my 3 teams, it's going to be Fulham, West Brom, West Ham, or Southampton. And then I think right above, it'll be West Ham or Southampton in 18th or 17th, and then sitting right above them is going to be Aston Villa, because they didn't make any trades, or like really didn't.
Okay.
They bring in like an okay thing, but they need a striker with Grealish, because they pretty much just have Grealish in center attacking mid, and that's it. They don't really have anybody else. But then like above them, I think Brighton. See, it's a very close relegation battle. I think it's going to be Brighton, Aston Villa. So it'll be 15th will be Brighton. I think Aston Villa will be 16th, and then 17th will be Southampton. They'll be safe, and I think West Ham's going down with Fulham and West Brom. That's going to be my things. And then 15th. That is
bold prediction. Aston Villa's going down. Just bold prediction. My bold prediction.
I mean, yeah, it's possible, but if they don't sell Grealish and they bring in, and like I said, October 5th, if they seal a deal with a striker or something, they can stay up. They'll be able to stay up. They just need to get that. They need to get their defense. If they could get their defense and more attacking players, they'll be fine. They'll actually compete for like mid-table like every year. But they need to start making those deals instead of sitting back and kind of relying on this one guy right in the midfield, because that's what they're doing right now. And I shouldn't say he's not bad. He's not the greatest to do it with. Definitely not the greatest to do, like, rely on him constantly. But yeah. And then above like the relegation battle, I think 14th. Okay, who I said Brighton, okay. So I think Sheffield United, they're gonna have like what San Francisco is having, where they have a beautiful season first time, because they just got promoted last year, I believe, or the year before last year. So they were in their first year in Premier League. They got like a 7th spot, and I think they're just gonna drop off into like
like right above relegation battle. They're going to be in mid-table. They're going to solidify themselves in mid-table. They're good. I know they're good enough to sit up there, but I think they're going to solidify their mid-table. And then I'm actually going to go bold here and say Leeds United. And I think Leeds United should be in relegation battle because they came up, but I think
Yeah.
they have a strong enough team and they made the correct signings that they needed to make real quick to get some players on their team that'll
Okay.
help them stay up. And I think they're going to be like mid-table, like 14th.
And Leicester City. Is I saying
Leicester
that
City?
Leicester City?
Leicester City. I think they're going to come later. I think Burnley's next in 12th. I have to say
Okay.
Burnley. And then 11th, I will say Crystal Palace. And I know that's
Yep.
probably people are like, really? But I think Crystal Palace, I know they have nobody special, but they have a team that probably will get the job done. They'll get the job done enough. And I think they'll be, right there. This is kind of a closer battle than for mid-table and relegation. It's really hard to tell. But the top four, you know the top four already.
Yeah.
So it's like that. But I think right above them in 10th will be Wolves. I mean,
Okay.
I think Wolves. The itty bitty problem is it. Well, actually, sorry, no, I'll correct that. I'll go Everton. I'll go for Everton and.
Oh, Wolves are higher.
I think Everton made the correct signings. It's just they don't have the glue yet to bring it all together. They don't have it to bring it all together yet.
Okay.
And then I think right above them will be Wolves. I think Wolves will sit 9th. And then Tottenham is going to have that kind of I think they're going to be really fighting for 8th and 7th. They're going to be kind of bouncing between them, and then I'm going to say they're going to be 8th.
Okay. Tottenham with Harry Kane. I mean, not Harry Kane.
I mean, Harry Kane. So
okay, I got that right. Okay.
Dele Alli, all them. I think they're going to be sitting there just because I think if someone could get it together, because they have a really good squad. It's just it doesn't seem like they can get it all together. They can't seem to work it. I mean, they had that run Champions League when Liverpool won it. They had that run with Liverpool, and I just think after that they just didn't look good and they kind of fell apart and they're kind of still. And I think if someone could just solidify and get it into their heads, they'll be a lot higher. They'll probably contest for the top 5th spot, but I think they'll be sitting 8th this year. I think they'll be switching with Newcastle. I think Newcastle's going to have an okay season this year. I think they're actually going to be higher, but I could be wrong with that because, I mean, I think it's really kind of a year for the 7 and below because there's kind of these it's just kind of there.
Okay.
But I think Newcastle might. I think if Tottenham gets it, but then I think they'll sit maybe 7th. 6th, I'm actually gonna go with. Where are they? I believe it. Leicester City. We're gonna go Leicester City. 6th. I believe Leicester City will sit 6th, and then I think it's gonna be a tight battle between them and Arsenal. Arsenal's gonna sit 5th by 2 or 3 points, and then yeah. But then the top 4 is kind of between. I mean, it's between Man United, Man City, Liverpool, and Chelsea. I just don't know which way it's going to go because if Chelsea made the right moves, it's just I think this next game for Liverpool versus Chelsea will decide if Chelsea's good enough. Because if Liverpool has some people I watched when they were predicting Liverpool having their second season syndrome after they won it, I think they're going to do really actually pretty good. Some people say they're going to drop into 3rd and 4th, but I don't think so. I think they're going to contest for it.
All right.
But that's my kind of thing because after the first kind of thing, and I mean that could be a little bit wrong. You can move Newcastle around, you can move Tottenham around. There's a couple teams in there that you can move up, move down. It's just kind of like the relegation and the ones for winning the Premier League are the ones that are going to really not prove a problem to do that. I think the top four are kind of solidified there. I mean, you could have like the random Tottenham slip in there this year, so that would actually surprise some of us because they weren't really that good last year. So
Yeah.
they were sitting right under there. It was just they didn't have enough. They were there, but they didn't have enough to get there. But other than that, yeah. Speaking about cups, I think we have soon the Stanley Cup final. I believe is going to happen.
We also actually have some not breaking news, but happened today. College football, Big Ten coming back October 23rd. I think is what I heard. I don't
I think
know.
it's
We can look that up and confirm it.
Yeah, I believe it's October 23rd. Yeah,
Okay.
that'll be cool to see. It's every sport's coming back now. Finally, we'll get something to report on. Woo!
All right, let's get into hockey. Okay, so
what is your preposition? Because I think the Islanders might give Tampa Bay a run for their money this next game.
Hey, listen, going back to my bracket,
Mm-hmm.
I had the Lightning winning it. So
Oh, yeah. So you want Lightning to win it, but
I had Lightning over Colorado.
Islanders are a tough team to beat. I do have to say that.
Lightning are just so much better. They have better goaltending. They got better defense. The only question is their offense. The only question is their offense.
I mean, they were okay. It looked like Islanders last night. It was just even. They're just so even. It's just whoever can.
I mean, you always have some of those games.
I mean, if Islanders put in more goals this next game, then yes, they'll win. But it's just kind of a flip flop. It's going to be close. I say it's just going to go to a seventh game because I think somehow pull it out of the bag. I think Islanders will pull out this next game out of the bag. The seventh game is iffy because I think they're just going to go at each other the next game. So it'll be like if Islanders can pull it out of the bag, the seventh game is just going to it's whoever wants to go. Whoever wants to win it.
Well, I think Lightning will win it next game. They have the coach. I don't want to say they have the better coach. I think it's evenly coached. They get Braden Point back. I think the Lightning are gonna win. That's because they're missing Steven Stamkos. They're missing Braden Point right now, and that was their main weakness that you could see throughout that whole game.
Yeah, but that kind of tells a good team from a great team, which means that you can lose a few players.
I mean, yeah, they did find a way to win the whole playoffs without Stamkos, but they need Braden Point. They need Braden Point back for this next game if they want a chance.
Yeah.
I mean, they could still fight, but
that's kind of my thing is that's why I'm picking kind of Islanders to kind of take it to him this next game is because if a few players don't come back or if they don't have the depth, then I don't think the Islanders can pull out this next game. Islanders, they might surprise me, but I think it might just go into overtime again and just be decided by that again. But
they're two good teams. I think if Islanders make it, Dallas is going to chew them up. I think if Lightning win it, they might not chew them up, but it'll be close. 5 games probably, I'd say. If Lightning go, it'll be 6 or 7 definitely, and it's just a toss-up at that point.
Yeah.
Because even Dallas with Anton Khudobin,
and all of a sudden pull out another 7-game and then win and then go on to the final and then all of a sudden just do a sweep. But I don't think that's going to happen. I think it's going to be very, very close here. I think it's going to pretty much come down to this next game. And if Islanders win it,
if there's a game 7, I'm going to be watching that the whole way through. I mean,
it's going to be a full a really good game, that game 7, because both of the teams are just going to throw at each other. They're just going to throw everything. Yep. Just the arsenal is going to come out. Just boom, boom, boom.
Because the Islanders are going to come at them hard every game they got now.
Yeah. Because Islanders.
If they don't win, if Islanders win this next game, Tampa's got to wake up. Something.
I mean, when I saw, I was like, okay, I think I thought okay, they'll win it. Tampa's gonna win it, and then I see Islanders. So I was like, I was like, I don't mind if Tampa wins, but I'm like, if Islanders win, it would be actually pretty cool to see. It would be like a comeback. So
Yeah.
comeback story, like LeBron called it, where he was like, "We're gonna win that one year." I can't remember who he was playing for. I think it was the Cavaliers, or no,
Maybe.
or it was. I think it was Cavaliers, where he called it. They were like 3-1 down, and he just said, it's gonna be a close one, and then we're just gonna go and win it. So like, it could be like that, or it could just totally appear, or it could just go Tampa Bay's way. It all depends on this next game, I think.
I still am thinking Tampa's gonna win the next game, but
Islanders
I
can
could be wrong.
surprise.
They could.
Yeah. I was just surprised that like the one game for Golden Knights, they like totally took it to him like a couple games, and then it was like, and then they just kind of backed off, and it looked like
Yep.
Dallas was just taking it to him. I was just like, what the heck happened? 'Cause it
I
was like
had Vegas. I had two brackets, one with Vegas winning, one with Tampa winning. So I'm gonna need.
yeah,
I gotta
but
get that cash prize. That prize.
You didn't call Philadelphia losing to the Islanders. That's the thing that surprised everybody, I think, the most, is that Philly lost to Islanders.
No. The way they played in that Canadian series, I could tell they were gonna lose.
I mean, I think what happened was with the Islanders, it was, if Flyers did not have the goalie that they have, it would have not happened. They would have not like
Carter Hart is the only reason they went as far as they did.
they were like relying on the goalie so much. It was like when you watch the Islanders game, like the last 7th game, you were just like, how is Philadelphia still in this thing? And then you would watch the saves that the goalie was pulling off. It was like, okay, that's how. But I think that's about it. Is there anything else?
50 minutes at least.
No, boy.
40, 50. It's pretty
Fun
long.
times. Yes, fun times. No, is there any other sports? That's a fun part. Any other sports going on now? Gotta
Mhm.
think.
Basketball.
Oh, yeah.
Heat and Celtics.
Mm.
And then Lakers, and I forget who they're playing, but Lakers are gonna win.
I mean, I'm kind of not in tune with basketball because I think.
Yeah, I'm just.
Because
Yeah.
you had the one team that was like didn't have an even chance, and they came in, they won 6 games straight, and then it was like, I was like, okay, it's a chance, but then they had to rely on this other team winning, and I was just like, it was not possible for them. So, but I heard there's a different thing going on for Premier League. So like, you know how they stopped the season last year? So like all the seasons stopped that were going on. Well, what Premier League said is once it stops, it'll stop. So once it ends, like if they have to stop because of COVID or anything, that they're going to stop there, and whoever's on top of the thing will win it. But I was just thinking in my head, what if it happens to be coming down to alphabetical order? Because
My gosh.
that's what's happening right now, is because like certain teams
Got that
won.
nice Dwight Schrute do on.
A certain team won games in
No.
the Premier League already. It's kind of going. Arsenal's on number 1 spot just because they're an A. So just because they have the letter A, they're first. So it's like if Arsenal wins it, I would just be laughing my butt off. It would just be like, seriously. I mean, Arsenal, I think if they lost to Aubameyang, just kind of like Aston Villa loses Grealish, they would be bad. It would be bad. It's like, because some of the bigger teams, the reason that Liverpool and Man City and Chelsea are going to go at it this year is because they have a team with depth. So they have offense, they have midfield, and they have defense. They have everything that's like nice. They have like everything like smoothed out. All of the creases are smoothed out. They have an even team that knows each other, knows how to play with each other, and they can go. But like you got Arsenal that, or like Aston Villa has one, they rely on players, and I don't think that that's the way to go about it. But sometimes that is, because they'll get them places. But I think they also need to start like looking at like the first half, if it goes into January, looking at the first half when they're playing, and then do transfers.
Okay.
I think that's my last thoughts coming out of this. Any of your last thoughts on NFL or anything? No last thoughts?
I'm good.
So, guys, I believe this is the end of the Steelman podcast, our predictions at least. And I believe we will see you in the next one. We might have a random one. We might come out with a new one. School's in, so it's just going to be crazy. So, I will see you in the next one.
Please stay mysterious.
Peace.